Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Katie and today we are going to be creating a Thanksgiving card using the You Warm My Heart stamp of the month from Close to My Heart. So this is the November stamp of the month from Close to My Heart. And as you can see, it has some really cute elements that can take you from Thanksgiving right into the Christmas season. So if you look, you can see that there's some really great sentiments and then some nice big bold images. So today we're going to be using the pie piece and then the little dollop of whipped cream. And the cute thing about the whipped cream is it could easily go on top of the little hot cocoa or coffee cup, some little marshmallows, that cute candy cane. I've even seen people kind of turn that around or cut off part of it and make that into a straw. That's been a really cute element I've been seeing people do. This cup, I absolutely love this cup. It definitely reminds me of a Starbucks cup that they put out a couple years ago. And then right here are these elements that you can actually recreate this pattern over here. So you could create an entire background. You could make an ugly sweater out of it. The possibilities are truly endless. So here's just kind of a close-up of the card that I made before, and I added the fun little shaker piece to it because I just wanted this to be a really fun, cute Thanksgiving card for my friends that they can, add a little joy to their life. I did also decorate the inside of the card. This is actually from a retired stamp set. This is from last September's stamp set, or maybe even 2 years ago. But I know this was a retired stamp set, and I just wanted to get something really cute on the inside, and I jazzed up the inside a little bit as well. So again, here's kind of the close-up, and you can see that I did add a little bit of shimmer right to the dollop of whipped cream, and then I added some gold shimmer on the edge of the frame. So I went ahead and kind of assembled the card base, and I did use the same exact paper collection. So this is from Bloom with Grace, which was in last month's catalog, but it is still, most of it's still available online, and I wanted to use this because to me this screamed fall. So the Bloom with Grace, again, right here, if you do want to purchase anything from the Bloom with Grace, this is pretty much what it looks like. Again, this is from last month's catalog, and it definitely had some really fun, bright, traditional kind of fall colors and theme to it. So that is what I used. And I actually drew inspiration from this card from the Create with Heart, or Make It from the Heart, sorry, Volume 4, from Close to My Heart. And this is actually page 19, and this is the card that gave me the inspiration. So instead of just using the star, I decided to make my element a shaker card, and then instead of using the ribbon, which I could have used the sangria ribbon, but I really wanted to make the pie the kind of star of the show here. So here's just kind of a close-up of the pie that I had. I did fussy cut it. This does not come with any kind of thin cuts, but it was super easy to cut out, especially with these scissors. These scissors make fussy cutting super easy. So then I went ahead and again, I assembled everything. And the dimensions are, so this is just a traditional A2 size card. So the card itself, which I cut out of toffee, so I just cut it and scored it down the middle. The card itself is 4.5 or 4 1/4 by 5.5. So this piece right here, the large piece, is the exact same size. And then the next dimensions are 3.5 by 4 3/4. Then this piece right here is 3 1/4 by 4.5. And then the last piece is 4 1/4 by 4.5. So it kind of just goes down in a really nice pattern. Again, we're going to go ahead and make this a shaker card. So I am just going to use the shaker window elements that Close to My Heart sells as well. And I'm just going to take this pokey tool. This is a retired tool, but I still have it and I like to use it just because if you are trying to get this little piece off, it's really easy to use some kind of sharp tool. You could use a pick from Cricut or any other manufacturer too as well, would work just as fine. So what I like to do as my tip is I go around with any kind of sharp tool. You could even use like a needle or a pin, or even like a bobby pin or something like that would work. So then I go ahead and then take that off. And this sticky side right here, I'm just going to put that to side for right now and go ahead and get the sentiment stamped. So again, I decided to use the sentiment Sweetie Pie, and I am using Desert Rose for my color. And Desert Rose is a newer color to Close to My Heart. So it just actually came out in the new annual catalog. And it's a really fun, really pretty, kind of rustic, brassy, kind of rusty looking reddish color. So it's kind of a in between a red and a brown, and it's just it's a really good fall color. So I decided to go ahead and use that, and it is part of the paper pack line as well. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I get that stamped down right in the middle. So I'm just going to press that down, hold it for a few seconds, and then lift it up, and I will have a perfect image. So then we're going to go back to that piece that we're making the shaker card out of. And what I'm going to do is actually just put it down directly in the middle, so that piece kind of sticks to that paper. And then what I'm going to do is peel that off. And what you will see is that you will have a perfect round piece all the way around that circle that you cut out. Now, how did I get that circle? I use the shaker, window, and confetti thin cuts from Close to My Heart. So this circle right here is actually the circle I used to cut out this piece. So this is the back piece, and we're using it for the sentiment. And then the frame piece is right here. So this piece cuts out the frame, which is what we're going to put on top when we are done with filling the shaker card. So go ahead and get that put in. So here is the frame piece right here. So that's what gets cut out. So then right now I'm going to go ahead and fill this up. Now what I should have done before was actually take my anti-static pouch and before I stamped, but you can do it after too. Just make sure you don't get the anti-static pouch on the sticky part, because then the plastic won't actually stick to it. But I use the anti-static pouch just so when I am creating the shaker cards, everything doesn't fly up to the window when I'm trying to put the window up. So go ahead and pour a little bit of the gold confetti stars. These are really cool. You get a whole bunch of them as well. And then just going to open up my little container that I got from Recollections. All of the sequins inside are from Close to My Heart, but I got the little container from Michael's. And I'm just, using my finger, kind of picking it up. I know people have used little tiny spoons before, whatever tool you want to use to get your little shaker elements in there. So that looks like a good amount. And then the last part of kind of creating the shaker card to make sure that it's sealed is you use the shaker window. And again, this all comes in the package from Close to My Heart. And there's this little film right here that you are going to want to tear away and then just discard. So then right now, I'm just going to put this piece down, kind of lining it up, and then pressing down all around. You can actually pick it up at this point and kind of pick it up, let the confetti kind of roll around, but make sure you're squishing it down. That way you have a nice tight seal, so when you put it on your card and the recipient shakes it, confetti doesn't go flying everywhere. So I don't know about you, but I know some people who don't like confetti and glitter everywhere. I personally wouldn't mind it, but I know some people are just not a fan of glitter and confetti going everywhere. So then that's kind of my tip for you to kind of get the perfect circle versus peeling it off the back and then trying to place it back on the circle that we cut out. I just think it's a lot easier to do it this way, and it works really well, especially if your element is separate from your card. So I'm just going to go ahead and get that glued down, and I'm using some liquid adhesive to glue that on the back. Just gotta take the top off. There you go. That one does not want to seem to be working. I will use the next one. All right, here we go. Just a little bit of liquid adhesive, which I like to use because then I have a little bit of wiggle room when I kind of stick it down at the bottom of this card, or stick it down onto the base of the card. So go ahead, get that pushed down and make sure that my sentiment isn't crooked, and that is where I want it to be. Same thing with using the liquid adhesive for the cover or frame of the shaker window. And this I cut out of, I didn't want it to be stark white because white was not in the color with this Bloom with Grace palette. So I went ahead and cut this out of the French Vanilla. So go ahead and get that laid down. Then we're going to actually raise the little piece of the pumpkin pie. And to keep the elements, actually, I'm going to tape the little bit of whipped cream, put it on top of my pie, then flip it over, and I'm going to raise the pie as well, and to make sure that it is the same height as the shaker window, I'm just going to use these awesome little bits that come inside the shaker window. And that is kind of the whole point of them, is to use them with your shaker windows. That way it is all at the same exact level. So I'm going to go ahead and just get the back off of that and just kind of place it down here in the corner. And on this one, I think I'm just going to overlap it just a little on top of there. So then the other elements that I added to it was the gold shimmer brush and then also the clear shimmer brush. So the gold shimmer brush I used to kind of just go around the edge of the frame. And that way there was a little bit of gold, but not too much. I thought about using toffee. In fact, I tried out toffee, but I thought it was just a little too dark because the toffee is actually colored toffee color with the glitter inside it. The gold is actually clear with gold glitter. So I like to use the gold glitter, I think, a little more often because it just gives that nice little subtle bit of glitter and added shine versus saturating the whole background. And then I'm going to go ahead and use the clear and just kind of put the clear all over the little bit of whipped cream. So there we go. This one's super shiny. You can see that one. Nice and shiny. And then the other elements that I kind of wanted to add because I thought this little corner needed something. And again, with decorating in threes, I decided to put a few pieces of the gold gems. So 2 down there. And then I think one of the larger ones up in this corner. And on this card, it's a little harder to see them just because they kind of blend in with the background. But that's okay because to me, I think these are definitely... one's more feminine and one's more masculine, but still, you know, super fun. And it's using the exact same paper pack. You probably would never even be able to guess. Exact same paper pack, just using the opposite sides of them. So I'm going to go ahead and get the inside of this card decorated as well. So here is the inside of the card. And what I'm actually using is another retired stamp. And this one is called Thanks and Giving. So this was an October stamp of the month. This one's from 2018. And I'm going to be using the Thanks and Giving part and then this cute little wreath right here. So I went ahead and got it all blocked or put on my block already. And I am just going to get out the little piece that is in the back of the stamps that I like to put underneath my paper. I just feel like I get a much better stamping if I put that little piece or if I put the Versamat down as well. So I'm going to go ahead and get this inked up. You can see it's a pretty big stamp set. It's almost as long as the ink pad. So I did already practice and season with it before. So fingers crossed that this gives a nice, beautiful, crisp image. So right down here, Thanks and Giving. Good image. And then the next one was that cute little wreath. And I'm going to be using the color Fern because Fern was the green that was recommended to go with this paper collection. I'm just going to go ahead and add that just right above it, just so there's a fun little element to the inside of this card. Go ahead and get all of that out of the way. And then I will just tape this down to the inside. And that should do it for this card. And I did cut this piece, the inside piece, 1/4 of an inch less, just to kind of give that fun little border when you open it up. So here is a close-up of the one that we created right now. This is using the Bloom with Grace collection from Close to My Heart, along with the You Warm My Heart stamp of the month for November from Close to My Heart. We added a little bit of some shaker elements to it, and I did do it off camera, but I did color this cute little piece of pumpkin pie. And here is the other one, and I'll just kind of show them side by side just so you guys can kind of see. It is the exact same paper pack, same layout, but they look completely different. And I think that's just something super fun that you can do if you don't have a lot of paper pack or a lot of paper on hand, but you want to make multiple cards, but you kind of want to make them to look a little different so you're not making the same card over and over again. Just use the same pattern, flip the paper over. Everything's designed to be coordinated together, and I think they both look awesome. So thank you again so much, as always, for joining me, and have a great day.